Hey you guys, so I am back and this is kind of the continuance. I told you guys I was going to talk to you guys about some of our choices as women, young ladies, young girls, teenagers, women in general, the importance of our choices when it comes to the men in our life. So I'll give you guys just a little bit of background, not even background, but just maybe talk a little bit about some of the experiences that I had in my younger 20s, and you know, right out of kind of high school, in my relationship with my daughter's father, and how those relationships or milestone relationships within my life, how they affected me, how they helped shape who I am now, and things of that sort. So I'm just gonna touch on it briefly, okay? My daughter's father. Okay, now like I said, I was introduced to this young man my senior year of high school, and as I had mentioned, he was not the type of guy that I would go for. Okay, I mean, in my personal opinion, some of you guys may disagree, but for me, he was a hood dude. Okay, and a hood dude for me is the stereotype of, you know, he didn't live in the greatest area, was raised by his mother, you know, didn't live in the best area. I mean, basically, all of those things do not dictate if he was going to be a good person. But these are some of the factors that made me identify him as a hood dude, you know, aside from his just outward appearance. Long story short, you know, getting pregnant at a young age and being naive, inexperienced in that way. I mean, it's not like I hung around girls who were getting abortions every other minute, you know, so even the discussion of that was not something I was really familiar with. And finding out later on that he had a child already, actually a newborn that was 4 months, came into play later on in my pregnancy. So you can imagine that, okay? I'm not only end up pregnant by this guy, he already has a kid. And so, I mean, I'm coming into this guy's house, mom there, she don't speak, she don't address me, you know, whatever. And there were definitely some incidences within that short-term relationship that definitely was a challenge for me, in a sense of I wasn't no hood chick, you know what I mean? I am, you know, the good girl, you know, in my area of Oakland, where I lived, was considered where the rich folks live. And, you know, for me, you're black, you ain't that rich, you know, I mean, if you, anyway. So, I mean, I'ma just run off quickly. I can't tell you all the incidences, but when I say it was short-lived, it was short-lived to the point where, boom, met this guy, started, I'm gonna go dating, you know, shortly after, end up pregnant, very, very scared at that time, not really knowing what I was gonna do, and out of fear and almost lack of understanding about how it would affect me later on, I choose to have a child. I not only had a physical altercation with him, okay, pregnant, where a friend of his had to be like, man, stop, come on, blood, she pregnant. I mean, I'm trying to paint these pictures because the stories, if I go into detail, because I can be very long-winded, you'll be like, oh my goodness. to being in his home, pregnant, you know, my car not being accessible to me at that time, in his home, his parents' home, no, you know, no food, you know, very, very scary situations that kind of arose where it was this young man who used his strength to intimidate me, you know, physically, verbally, emotionally. And fast forward, this young man ended up later on not only having children with multiple women, he was also convicted of rape. He's a convicted serial rapist. And my experiences with this young man, even at the age of 17, 18, the short-lived relationship that I saw definitely confirmed for me, I wouldn't put it past him. Okay, fast forward on to my 20s. I mean, I had a relationship with a young man who I believe, looking back and based on the conversations that we had and me knowing him, he had a troubled past, and he struggled with this is what I believe, because I never physically witnessed it, but knowing now, struggled with alcohol and drug abuse. And to this day, I mean, I don't know what he's doing, but I'm sure he's not doing very well. Now, let's get on the topic about the importance of the men that we choose to have in our life and our children's lives. It's extremely important for us to value ourselves more than the need for a man to be with us or a boy to be with us, because the reality of the situation was none of these young men were men. And although I have gotten past a lot of it, it doesn't let me forget, but it does allow me to have a better understanding that these two men were very troubled, and for one man to have no respect for women tells me that there's something deeper that I'm completely unaware of. And I see it time and time again, young women, older women, I mean 30s, 40s women, and I like to use the word just plain old stupid, will, for the sake of companionship, allow a man to come in and out of their home, not provide for them or their children, have negative lifestyles with using, you know, drugs and alcohol, and women taking that abuse. And I say that because as women, we need to find the strength and the power within ourselves to know that we deserve better, we are better, and we don't need and will not stand for that. I mean, I have a personal issue with men who do not show a lack of commitment. I mean, there's plenty of women out here who've been with their partners for, you know, years, decades, and a lot of people will say, oh, you know, marriage is not for me, but I beg to differ for a lot of women. I mean, if you don't want marriage, then 9 times out of 10, I don't see why you would even want a companionship if that's... Anyway, I mean, I'm all over the place, and you guys know this, but I want women to truly, and young women and old women, this is not really based on an age group. When it comes to our children, it's it's an unfortunate situation, but what we need to understand is, as women, the people and the examples that we have in front of our children, those behaviors are learned. If you have a man who does not work, plays video games all day, eats up all your food, and you have children, especially young male children, they are learning those behaviors. They are learning that my mom has had, different boyfriends. They don't have to work. I have to pick up the slack. And that only not shows and teaches this child the way that they believe a man can and should be, but it's also going to create some resentment towards you as their mother. I'm just keeping it real. Children internalize things more so than we even think, and the reality is that children see things and they come up with their own understanding, but their perception is not that of an adult, so they can't decipher whether or not, a man is supposed to work, a man is not supposed to talk to a woman this way, the family is supposed to be this way. They don't know. All of these things are learned. These are learned behaviors. And so with saying that, a lot of the breakdown in individuals and the family, it's on one end, it's something we can't blame that person for, because of the troubled upbringing that they had. However, this is what is going on in the day-to-day world that we live in. And I think for a lot of us, we like to turn our eye like, oh, okay, well, I'm doing a whole lot better. I moved out of that situation. That's behind me. But the thing is when we close our eyes to what the trouble is day to day, that trouble is still growing. It's still festering, and it's going to come after. It's going to come after you. Somehow it's going to have some effect on your family, whether you want it to or not. It's hard to imagine, but 9 times out of 10, there's going to be some effect on your family. So, it's important for women to understand that it is far more important for us to be okay with ourselves, to build ourselves up, to feel complete whether we have a man or not. And the reality is, a man is just more than just a physical being and someone who is not a female. The definition of a man, in my personal opinion and what I have experienced, is a man who knows his role, who is a provider, who is loving, who is nurturing, who values his family. Okay? And I'm not saying that in life there will not be unforeseen situations. I mean, people lose their jobs all the time, but a real man is going to feel that if you guys have a biological child or not, but that child is his responsibility to take care of. And a lot of women do not understand that fact because it is not something that they see in their day-to-day life. So I implore, women to understand that you gotta call it like it is. If it walk and talks like a duck, then it's a duck. If he ain't, then he ain't chin. I don't care if he comes home every night. If he kicks it with his homeboys and does not bring home money to that family, does not have the family as his priority, then there's something wrong with that. You have to look at self and look at, what am I lacking? Why is this situation okay for me? Why am I okay with a relationship, but I'm not okay with marriage? There's a disconnect there. There is a disconnect there, and it is a disservice to our children to have them continuously see this image of unmarried people. men in and out of the household, and things of that nature. So for women, we are broken to the points where, you know, we are being, you know, physically, mentally, and verbally abused. And hold on, let me just put this out here. Let me just put it out here. Just because you married, and women who are single, just because women are married, that don't mean a damn thing. And I say that because statistically, marriage don't stop a dude from whooping your ass. It don't stop a dude from drinking and smoking. It doesn't stop a dude from not working. So let me just put that out there, that marriage does not make a relationship better. But what does make a relationship better are the two individuals that are in that relationship when they're right. When they're right up here, and have goals and are doing the best that they can to be productive citizens and to do and follow their dreams. We want to be, and this, like I said, this channel is not exclusive for naturals, blacks, women. It's not. We need, you know, this is a channel for greatness. This is a channel for positivity. So we, and myself included, I want more for myself. I want to not only challenge myself, but challenge all of you out there, okay, to want more for yourselves, to not be complacent in situations that are hurting and breaking you down. So, I mean, we need to understand and take that strength and run with it. We need to feel confident in our strength to be okay by ourselves. I want to recommend, and this is for young and old, this is a book that really helped me at a point where, you know, I was through with the negative relationships. At that time, I really was, you know, I was done. I was good. I was cool. I was, you know, but really getting to that place of contentment and comfort, being by myself, and really kind of putting it in black and white, what it is that I want, what it is that I stand for, who I am as a woman, what I want, and all in all, I attracted that. And even when I didn't attract that, I didn't allow it to waste my time. That's the other thing. Women, we need to learn that the man should not necessarily choose us. Now, I'm not, you know, just a liberated woman where, yeah, you can go and ask him out. That's fine and good. That's fine. You know, it's 2010. Women, if you see a young man that you are interested in, and there is nothing wrong with showing that you're interested. However, we so many times than not allow men to choose us, and when they choose us, all it takes is a, hey, what's your name, can I get your number? When, if we don't have a structured standard of what it is that we're looking for, what it is that our standard of living will accept and not accept, we are easily drawn into negative situations with negative people. If you're a positive person and you have that standard in place, you can't fail. I'm trying to tell you, okay? I am trying to tell you ladies this, that you know, when I met my fiance, I'm not saying you meet your man in college or the library or even at church. You don't know where he is going to find you or where you'll find him. But when you're not right, you attract triflingness, okay? And I mean, when I tell you, if I could just really go into some major details, okay? I think I've told you guys enough, not in the sense that I have a problem with sharing it, because the one thing that I want to let a lot of you guys know is that the beauty of sharing your story is that you can truly help another person with your story. And what good is your story if you don't tell it? You know, and a lot of us are fearful, shameful, and embarrassed to tell people what we've been through, where we've gone, the things that we've seen, how we may have abused ourselves by the choices that we've made. And I'm here to say that I have not a problem in the world with sharing what I've done, tell y'all how stupid I've been, for the simple fact that that's within the past. That's not me. That doesn't define who I am. That does not even give you a clear-cut idea of the woman that I am. By sharing that aspect of where I've been, it allows you guys to see where you can go and where I'm going. Okay, so I know the video was kind of all over the place. I hope that it's not so random that you guys are fast forwarding. Yeah, I know we do it, like, okay, fast forward 2 minutes. What is she talking about? But you know, it's negativity can break us down, and we are too good for that. And that includes our men. That really includes our men, our young men. You know, are broken. Our households are broken, and that is a big reason why people are so damn toe up right now. They're hurting. So anyway, I'm just sharing with you guys kind of my thoughts, and letting you guys know kind of my standpoint on that, sharing a couple of things with you. And the other thing that I just want to point out, I don't care if you are the finest thing walking. I don't care if you got a body out of this world. Trust and believe, the pretty girls get dogged out too. Okay? Abuse and negative situations do not discriminate, okay? Because if you're weak, they will find your ass. I'm just keeping it real. And it's unfortunate that I find a lot of women and a lot of people on here following. And when I say following, it could be, you know, subscriptions and whatnot. If you can't decipher certain things, like, oh, okay, I'm subscribed to this person for this specific reason, but I think that a lot of us and I see a lot of us looking up to the wrong individuals who are putting the wrong things in our mind, that are not instilling the right things and positive things that we need to grow. Okay, so anyway, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, go ahead. You know, it's not just on the deep stuff. We talk about lighter things here. But hopefully you guys enjoy this. If there are any other kind of topics that you want me to address, I will be more than happy. There's no shame in my game. So the video is sponsored by fashionwithfifi.com and thedevour.com. Make sure you guys click the link below to be directed to the site, and look forward to some more, maybe some hair and makeup tutorials in the near future. And until next time, keep it real. Bye.